between the fifth assistant to the Secretary of State, and the fifth assistant to the North Korean counterpart to the Secretary of State, then the fourth, then the third, then the second, and then it works up to the Secretary of States. They talk about what they want to talk about in the summit, and then they get the presidents involved. And that's normally how it works on summit. Then really Trump and Kim kind of just decided to boop, 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 all the way up to the summit and not really talk about it that much in depth, which was probably a little bit disturbing to some observers. Richard Cha, the former National Security Council Director for Asia, wrote an op-ed for The Times arguing that the summit's outcome shouldn't necessarily be a surprise, saying, quote, presidential summits are supposed to be painstakingly manufactured for success by working-level diplomats. This one wasn't. Trump's eagerness to have the top-level meeting early, perhaps to draw headlines away from domestic turmoil, contravened with the best advice of his advisors to do the necessary work before putting the president in front of the North Korean leader again. And that is something that he would have had. Like, it's something that he probably would have had a lot more success with if he just waited a little bit, and then he screwed this up. We don't know if we're going to get a third summit again, and he comes home, not bringing home the bacon, and North Korea is still hostile towards the United States. Some Republicans rushed to Trump's defense for the botched summit, commending him for rejecting a bad deal, of course. Others, however, condemned Trump for his remarks, really kind of disgraceful remarks, to be honest, about Otto Warmbier, an American college student who died in custody before being flown to the United States in a coma, and saying, Trump did, that Kim was not to blame for Warmbier's death, saying we can't be naive about what they did to Otto and the brutal nature of the regime that would do this. Americans know that cruelty that was placed on Otto Warmbier by the North Korean regime. Our hearts are with Warmbier family for the strength and the courage. We will never forget Otto. The former ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, tweeted that out yesterday. So, pretty strong rebuke there from Haley. So again, really some ridiculous posturing there from Donald Trump. What a disgrace! Imagine how that family's feeling. You got a buffoonish president going to negotiate with Kim. And what did he say? He didn't get a thing done in denuclearizing and defanging the country that killed your son. Instead, he comes back and said, oh, yeah, your son's killer. Oh, he didn't know. Give me a break. All right. That is the world in a little bit over 17 minutes. Have a great weekend.